thoughts from these benches, I too want to express our sadness at the news of the death of Lord Judge, and indeed offer prayers and condolences to his family, and with others look forward to the speeches of Lord Burness of Malden, Lord Houchin of High Levin, and Lord Bailey of Paddington. And also I want to make the focus of my speech devolution, particularly looking at devolution in and within the regions of England. Not least because I think devolution and devolved government in this way allows us to seek consensus in our decision making, and therefore better able to take a longer view, which in turn is the best way of tackling some of the huge issues facing us, mentioned in the gracious speech: the greening of the economy, poverty, and indeed criminal justice. Yesterday, the order was laid by the government for the establishment of the mayoral combined authority for York and North Yorkshire, the area where I live and serve, and this is very, very good news for the North, and is the first deal of its kind that includes a large rural area in combination with a small city, and therefore is an opportunity for a new model that does not require a big city for its success. Now I know, or at least I think I know, that I don't need to tell this House about the benefits of this kind of devolution. The understanding and representation of local needs allows for good value for money spent, and it's something that we've often discussed. Certainly in York and North Yorkshire, a regional view is required to understand its huge variety, its opportunities, but also its inequalities, and then address them. What is needed, I believe, in our government is consensus and longer-term planning, the sort of thing that devolved government can deliver. And last week I was with people who've been working on this in York and North Yorkshire, and what struck me most was the incredible renewed hopefulness and togetherness that longer-lasting change could be achieved. This will renew our regional identity. It will enable us to better face issues of huge inequality, and in turn, therefore, will tackle the hopelessness that so often leads to crime. Now, I know today's theme is not transport, but it is inextricably bound up with the conversation about devolution. I welcome the designated powers and funding that are allocated as part of the deal that's been a success in other cities. However, transport is the most contentious part of all devolution work, and to state the obvious, the failure to join up the East and the West in national-scale transport projects remains a very, very serious issue for all of us who live but sometimes struggle to travel across the North. The Network North proposals given in lieu of HS2 and announced yesterday feel to me like an afterthought, and were announced so quickly that they eluded consultation. They don't seem to point to a well-measured decision that prioritises levelling up or investment in the North. Although the gracious speech said that the most frequently taken journeys are prioritised, it is unfortunate that those journeys are mostly and most frequently made by car. Whatever anyone feels about HS2, I would suggest that the contrast in functioning transport systems within regions and between them demonstrates a problem with the length of our view. We have heard in the gracious speech the legislative ambitions of the government for this forthcoming session, many of which I look forward to engaging with, as do my fellow bishops on these benches, including the media bill. And although I'm glad to see that the trailed measures over the weekend around homelessness were not brought forward, there are other worrying inclusions, such as the offshore petroleum licensing bill and the announcement of new oil and gas licenses. We on these benches will be looking at all this in detail as it emerges. And what's missing is any recognition of the serious hardship that families are currently facing. The Joseph Rowntree Foundation's most recent statistics note almost 1 million children in destitution, triple that from 2017. The Trussell Trust are expecting their worst winter ever and are planning to provide more food parcels than ever before. We need to take a longer view. We need to stay awake to the persistent and debilitating inequalities that exist in our nation, to stay awake to the danger of dividing communities with polarised voices. These things will only get better if we take a longer view, if we build cross-party consensus, if we change the way we do our politics. And we look forward to taking opportunities to work together in this House and in other places to engage with this as we move forward.
Yeah.